Try not to blow
this feels right.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
It does feel pretty
It
good,
does feel right. Hey, guys.
Hey, welcome back to the
Hey.
D-pad.
Welcome. We have a very special video for you guys because we decided that because it came out right before Sonic Adventure, we decided to do a little review of the Sonic animated movie from 1998.
Sonic the Hedgehog over.
Yeah, the OVA.
It's over.
Yeah.
So
It happened, so we have to talk about it. I think that's the rule of the D-pad.
I mean, it is for these things. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Which is
gonna
good.
work.
It was an interesting experience.
It was.
You remember the Sonic Boom song, Sonic CD opening from
Sonic keeps you running faster.
Yeah,
It does.
Save
it's
the
like
planet
it's
from
like
disaster.
45 minutes of that, pretty much.
Spinning
Nice.
through a world in motion.
Yeah, and it's just
Take
CJ
it all
doing
the
the
way.
lyrics the whole time. He's the best.
Mr. Bad's got it good, but this ain't his neighborhood. He's taking over.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
So why don't we talk about
Knuckles' hat.
So yeah, Knuckles. Do we want to get right into that right away, or do we want to?
Let's get right into Knuckles' hat.
Scrape your knuckles, catch some tails. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Wait, catch some tails?
It seems a little inappropriate to have
That's
part
like-
of the
It should be
slogan.
like chase some tails.
Yeah, get some tails. Like that's a 7-year-old
I'm not
boy
into
character,
this.
Yeah.
Not into
and it's
this.
just like, yeah. Although he looks
Grab
aggravated.
that
so maybe
pussy.
that's-
No. Ooh.
Speaking of which, I'm talking about Sarah, the female character
Yes,
in the movie.
who
He's
is
not
a
wrong.
cat girl.
But it's so
She's
wrong.
a cat girl.
She's a cat girl
Cat girl.
Um,
Girl made of cat
with a little cat girl.
accents.
No, he has
why
nothing.
is she part cat?
Unanswered.
I'm into it.
Literally
Why?
not answered ever.
Is she part cat?
She's got cat ears and a cat tail.
She's
Well,
wearing
that's
them.
a hat.
No, she.
No, she has actual cat
You'll
ears.
see.
She just wears a hat over her cat ears.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
Right.
wearing fake
Or
cat
she might
ears
have a
and
bow
then,
and it's in front of them, but she
Maybe
has
her
them.
ears get cold, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
and
So,
It's
Miss-
a weird thing. That
All right,
we
all right.
just watched.
We should probably talk about the plot of this thing. Like, let's walk through it. So it's in 2 parts, sort of. In Japan, it was released in 2 parts, but now you can watch it
It's
on
2
one go.
episodes that are now 1 episode.
Yeah, they flow
Yeah.
together pretty
Like
well,
any-
actually.
Extended season finale of any popular show these days. Catch the 2-hour finale that we will subsequently air as 2 separate episodes.
Yeah, everything after is.
Subsequent.
Heroes did the same thing. They had a season premiere that was like that. It was like, watch the to be continued now, and then they just did the second
Yeah,
episode. I
man.
was like, guys, come on,
Buffy
man.
was all about that shit.
Yeah, really?
Can I take a swing at the plot?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So, scene. There's Owl Dad,
Eh.
a lovable.
No, I'm just kidding.
Technically, we open on Metal Sonic.
We open on Metal
Being
Sonic
created,
being
I
created,
guess.
yes.
But yeah,
but then
go
you
for
don't
it.
see him for half an hour.
Yeah.
And then you open on Owl Dad, who's just a lovable, mostly blind owl in a Hawaiian shirt, who knows Sonic apparently. Yada yada yada. Robotnik tricks the president of Planet into
A Freedom Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freedom
Fuck that
Planet.
owl.
Also
Who lives
called,
in the White House?
Yeah, it's real weird. The president's daughter is like this cat person who gets kidnapped by Robotnik and held hostage.
It's a very modern take on society.
Yeah, and then Robotnik tells a story about like alternate dimensions with Black Robotnik or
Whoa, hey, whoa.
yeah,
Metal
It's
Robotnik.
Metal Robotnik.
Metal Robotnik.
Or Black
Yeah.
Eggman.
Yeah.
Our
Pick one.
details are hazy because the subtitles we looked at were a totally different script
Yeah.
from what they were saying.
The subtitles were the English subtitles of the
The
Japanese.
Japanese, yeah. It was
Yeah.
translated from the
Obviously.
original, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
like...
we were-
so they don't match.
But
Yeah.
we were
So we
listening
sound
to
like
English.
idiots.
We just had the
Surprise.
subtitles on because we were talking over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sonic and Tails sound like Sonic
They
sounds like Terrence and Phillip.
something congested going on.
I finally finished it.
Oh, this is what comes after
Isn't it
Lost.
Great? It's a jet-propelled bodyboard.
No, actually, it makes sense that there's a
You
jet
wanna
because
try
there
it
is
out?
a
Not right
Central
now,
Square and
thanks.
everything, as we're gonna find
All right,
out.
I'll go use the
Oh, their
customer
voices.
time.
Okay, so Sonic and Tails are
just
voiced
like
by
a
the
little
same
kid with his
person.
new toy.
The voices
The
take a
same
little getting
child.
used to.
And Tails sounds like Butters.
All right, Tails, what do you want to do today? I don't know, Sonic. What, do you want to go run somewhere? Yes, Tails, let's go run over there. Okay,
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's pretty much
Pretty
just like
close
that.
to that,
You
actually.
could cut
yeah.
that in right here and it would totally fit.
Yeah.
It would work.
So yeah, okay, so unclear Robotnik takes the girl inside a giant metal Robotnik robot and they
Yeah.
go into another dimension that looks like a decaying New York
New York
City.
City. They actually walk
So
past
it
a
is another
street.
dimension, but it's also not.
They
I don't
walk
know.
past a street sign that says East 44th
You know,
Street.
the plot's
Yeah.
similar to Dark Tower, I think, actually, from what I know of Dark Tower.
They climb the
Idris Elba.
they climb the Empire State Building too, and I'm
McConaughey.
pretty sure at one point they destroy the George Washington Bridge.
They're gonna say the Twin Towers.
What does Robotnik and Magneto have in common?
Are the Twin Towers in
I don't know.
Destroying
movie?
the George Washington.
Were
Yeah,
they
Lord
in
of the Rings,
there?
the Twin Towers. That's
Can we talk about was it in?
No, Empire State was in it though.
Empire, the Empire State Building. They climbed that at one point.
Yeah.
The little spiral. But were the Twin Towers?
No,
in
they
there?
I don't know
weren't,
where
I
it
don't think
would
they
be
were.
geographically, and like there was no Statue of Liberty either, but
There
it was
was no
clearly
Times
meant to be
Square
New
either.
York
That's true.
or Station Square if you're trying to tie it to Sonic
Don't.
Adventure.
It's not.
Okay, so where were we? The plot. So then Sonic and
Dark
Tails
dimension.
find their way into this other dimension, and there's giant metal Robotnik, and he's like, and they, long story short, they beat him up, and they win. But then Metal Sonic is like, ooh, now I'm a thing. And Metal Sonic is cool because he exists and works because Robotnik is constantly scanning Sonic's thoughts. So Metal Sonic knows
Yeah.
everything real Sonic does, which is actually a pretty compelling plot.
Not
point.
constantly. He gets so at one point they go to Robotropolis, is like the capital that Robotnik
Or
runs.
Eggman Land.
Or Eggman
depending
Land.
on the translation.
Yeah.
And they go into like this like Star Warsy core, and there's a conveyor belt and a time bomb, and they barely get it. And Sonic's standing on the switch like, yeah, I got it. And then this like weird Jello cube just surrounds him and like starts sucking out his personality and his memories and stuff.
Gelatinous.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
meant to be that?
I think that's
and
what
it was a trap that Robotnik had set.
Yeah,
I
they
guess.
knew that like, all right, either I blow this thing up or they get there and then I get a Sonic.
So Sonic meets his match. Metal Sonic is a badass. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So they start coming up with plans to try and circumvent it. Tails realizes Metal Sonic knows everything Sonic does. So they
Yep.
try and come up with a plan with the president, but Sonic hears it, so he knows it. So Metal Sonic knows it. So they try to basically
Which
punch
doesn't
a hole.
make sense because they're not still connected. Like they're not
But
like
maybe they are, depending on the translation. Like maybe we missed something. I don't know. Their plan. So Metal Sonic's new plan is to punch a hole into an iceberg until he hits magma to destroy the world. So Robotnik
Yeah.
can marry Sarah, the cat lady.
well the idea
Am I
is-
wrong on this?
No,
or
you're
is
not
that
wrong.
No, that sounds
That's
accurate.
pretty much
They're gonna blow up the city so that it crashes into the earth, creates a disruption in the magnetic field of the planet, so the surface of the planet just tears itself apart.
Also-
and they show what this would look like.
And also, everyone lives in the sky
Yeah,
by default.
we got some like Laputa, fucking Chrono Trigger, like future sky people.
Laputa,
thing.
you're bringing it down to Gulliver's Travels, aren't you?
Is that what that? I'm mixing it up, isn't it?
I think
No,
so.
no, Laputa.
Laputa.
Yeah, that's the.
Are you
planet.
thinking the
That's from
land of
Gulliver's
Zeal?
Travels.
Is that also Gulliver's Travels? I thought that was the thing that like inspired Sky Sanctuary Zone too. There was like an anime movie.
There
Called, like-
may have been that they stole that from Gulliver's Travels.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe
Written by
yeah.
our good friend from high school, Jonathan Swift.
I mean,
of
floating.
course.
Floating islands are a thing in a lot of things.
I guess so. Yeah.
So you know.
So
okay,
they-
so they do that, and then finally they decide to come up with this cockamamie scheme where they will beat Metal Sonic by getting him to get Sonic's personality because he's tied to all the brainwaves, and it kind of works. And then Metal Sonic falls in a bunch of lava and is basically Anakin Skywalker at the end.
I
'cause
noticed
he didn't
a
have
lot
the high
of,
ground.
I noticed a lot of weird things that simultaneously were like, here's something that might have been a reference to an old movie, and here's something that seems eerily close to a movie that didn't happen yet. Like,
Yeah.
that's episode 3 is when that thing happened. But it is literally like, here's Sonic in a volcano-y thing. Here's Metal Sonic clawing his way back out and still refusing help and stuff.
And because at this point Metal Sonic is sort of taking on some of Sonic's good aspects, Sonic tries to save him.
and he's just like, no.
and then Metal Sonic's last words are, "There can only be one." Or
As
like,
he melts
there's
violently.
only one Sonic. Yeah,
It's a little
pretty,
haunting.
It's pretty grim. Yeah. And so then everyone's fine, and nobody's really mad at Robotnik, and it's just okay at
Knuckles
that
has
point.
that hat.
And Knuckles got stepped on during this, so at the end of it, Knuckles punches Sonic in the head and runs
Yeah,
away, which
he
is
does.
pretty great.
His little Outback
Knuckles
hat.
Knuckles can't. I wouldn't say he can fly, but he just
floats.
magically spirit.
He just
float.
Goku
He doesn't
floats.
glide. He doesn't fly. He just like, oh, I'm floating now.
Yeah, it's like a fucking Super Saiyan thing. He just kind of goes.
Yeah, he does it.
I mean,
Did I-
Sonic kind of floats too when he's in spin dash mode.
That's
which is funny
true.
because
Yeah.
the character bio explicitly stated that he couldn't fly.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah.
They're pretty lackadaisical with who's flying when and not. It's
Yeah.
fine. Lackadaisical.
Yeah,
that's
that's,
not really what I
that's a
meant.
word.
I
No,
think I
that
meant
is. That's a word.
lax.
No, it's lackadaisical.
Yeah, lackadaisical. Okay, whatever.
Just means carefree.
Is it lackadaisical? Or
No, it's lackadaisical.
With a Q?
I thought it. No, nope.
Is it an
Lack,
X?
lack, a, and then daisical as if it was like
How do
the
you spell
flower.
it?
Lack, like lacking, a. Daisical is spelled as if it was like a daisy, a flower.
I could have sworn there was an
ICAL.
X or a Q in it.
Nope. I was very confused. I thought it was lackadaisical.
Lax is
too.
a similar word, but lackadaisical just kind of means lazy. Anywho, So I think that covers all the major bits.
I think so. Yeah. That's probably the rough outline of the movie.
Not so fast, eh? You won't get away. I'll get your data. Get off of me!
So, CJ, tell me what your favorite part of this documentary was.
Oh, the credits.
The credits. The credits were cool. They were slightly angled off to the side. We saw Yuji Naka's name. It was amazing.
I think my favorite part was the you know.
Can we talk about Princess Sarah for a second?
Sure.
I
try to say what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Her
He gave up.
her characterization doesn't make sense to me.
Her characterization is that
Is
she's
that
a
your favorite
hot
part of the movie?
cat
I don't
person.
know. Well, because like she's presumably a hostage, but very early on, there's a couple shots of her and Robotnik playing some fighting game that their characters in, and then she's like, "If you don't let me win, I'll stop being your hostage." Like, well, what? And then later on, they're
just a throwaway joke, I
in
thought.
the metal Robotnik suit, and Robotnik is doing all this shit and fighting. He is metal Robotnik, and he's in the suit and he's fighting Sonic and Tails, and eventually Knuckles. And then Sonic and Tails beat it, and it crashes, and the two of them get out, and he's like, "Oh, you'll be ready. You better be ready for the harder thing that I have waiting for you in Robotropolis." And she's like, "What? Wait, it was you?" And it's like, you were in the giant death robot.
Sonic better enjoy his victory now, because once he gets to Robotropolis, he'll have to fight something far more evil than Metal Robotnik.
What do you mean worse than Metal Robotnik? Are you talking about yourself? You better keep your hands off my Sonic or I'll never forgive you.
Yeah, I did notice that. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a translation problem. I don't know if that's a writing problem or something, but it was definitely a little weird. There's
Okay.
some moments you have to just kind of shrug and like let it roll over you like warm water.
Yeah.
So the dedication that they kept to the source material was my favorite part.
Oh,
I
okay.
felt like this movie felt more like the early games than any other animated Sonic has. You know, it's pretty much a desolate planet.
Yep.
There's not a lot of people. There's Sonic.
Not even a lot of animals.
There's just
really.
like weird
Geographic
like,
stuff.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that she's like, why are we questioning that? Why is she like a half cat, half person? Sonic is clearly a half hedgehog, half
He's a
person.
3 foot tall hedgehog.
He just looks more like a hedgehog
Yeah, I guess you're
than a
right.
human, and she looks more like a human than a cat.
You're right, though.
But, I mean, clearly, there's a lot of fucking bestiality going on this planet anyway.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, fair enough.
We don't see her mom. I mean, it might have been a house cat in the next room for all we really know.
Maybe it's just like Sonic's
But you're
mom.
right, it's like a scale.
Maybe Sonic's mom was a hedgehog and his dad was a human.
Right.
And then Sarah's
Her grandfather was
mom
cat.
was a human, but her dad was a cat. And so you look more like your mom.
Oh, okay, or that, yeah.
Like
It's
a
a
Jew.
weird, like a Jew, yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. But yeah, they were pretty close to games. Like you saw, like, Sonic standing on a plane flying in toward a floating island. Like there was some
Yep,
cool stuff
yep.
like that.
They,
A lot of the badniks make appearances, and there's a lot of
yeah, there are a lot of
great-
legit. They have the little snail guy from Launch Base Zone.
Yeah.
They got the turtle.
They
have
got the
best
turtle
part.
from.
Oh, we didn't even
from
talk about the
Wing
turtle.
Fortress.
a Sonic 3
The turtle.
So
caterpillar
halfway
thingy.
through the second episode, Robotnik launches like 3 separate badniks from the games.
Yep.
To what? They're trying to escape with like the disc of Sonic's personality.
Yeah,
or
really
something?
get why
I think they
that
were just
was
trying
happening.
to blow up Tails' plane.
No, but the turtle had the disc in its mouth.
No, it caught the disc. At
Oh,
the
that's
end.
right.
So,
Yeah,
and then he blew it up.
So, all
he
right.
was like,
so
fuck you,
to
Robotnik.
explain, so he's got 3 robots. One is a rabbit robot that is just, boom, just a missile that goes flying away.
Oh,
It
so
hits
he's not from
Tails.
the games.
Yeah,
He's
it hits
new.
Tails' plane. Allegedly, I don't actually remember what the fuck. There's a little pig one that's there with like
Ball Hog.
flags. Yeah, it's Ball Hog. And he's there with like a flag, like a race flag, because the other one's a tortoise. And the tortoise is just like not really going anywhere. Fast forward about 20 minutes. Actually, at one point, about 10 minutes later, you see it just in the sky in just a
Yeah.
random shot. And it's like, oh, wow, he's still out there.
He's still a character in this. Don't worry, we didn't forget about him.
Yeah, it feels like a throwaway gag, almost like a don't worry, he's still doing stuff. And at the very end, the day is saved, everyone's there, and then Robotnik comes down and he's just like, I still have the disc with all of Sonic's thoughts. I can still create a better Metal Sonic that doesn't have the personality of Sonic in it. And then you see the little turtle thing. And it's not just like it comes out of nowhere. Like, it slowly putters over everyone, and they're all just kind of like, oh. And then it goes up, bumps into the Eggman, grabs it, and then beep, beep, and like, I thought that was really cool. It was a rule of threes, a payoff to a silly joke from earlier that didn't seem like it had
These are
much
all
of a
tropes
point.
that Rick's gonna list.
And some old badniks.
And yeah, I thought it was a nice.
Would you say that's your favorite part, Rick?
I think that was probably the best crafted joke in the entire thing.
Okay.
That was probably the only crafted joke in the
Yeah, the rest was all really quick. I mean,
sight
not to say
gags
that
and-
like
yeah.
American and Japanese humor is entirely different, but there are different like methods to getting to the punchline, and that was one of the only ones that felt not distinctly like Japanese in terms of like. There's a lot of jokes when it comes to anime where it's like someone's in a position they don't like and they freak out about it.
Oh,
That's
okay,
a pretty.
yeah.
That, I feel like it's a very sitcom-y kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't know. I think this was the only one that really broke away from that. Robotnik wants to marry Princess Sarah, and she's fine with wearing a wedding dress.
She wasn't fine with it, but it was just a
She
weird.
liked the dress until she put it
Yeah.
on, and she's like, "Wait,
Why am I? Yeah, she's like, oh, a pretty dress, I'll put it on, but like, wait, why?
Yeah,
I mean, it's kids writing. It's not.
That's
It's not meant to hold water.
this was a lot darker than I think I would have expected from a Sonic movie.
In what way?
In '98, what was the darkest Sonic game that we got by that point?
Sonic and Knuckles. Probably.
Sonic CD.
I guess
Yeah.
Sonic CD. But even then, it's just sort of like, all right,
With
the
the bad
future is
future.
dark, but you can save it really easily and everything's bright and happy. This is one where, like, there's a spot where Metal Robotnik is walking up and he's, like, missing pieces and he's got a Terminator face.
And he's like twitching.
Yeah, and it's, like, all fucked up. And it's like, this is way more grim than I think
true.
anyone would have.
And we
But
do
even
see Metal
think
Sonic
Sonic
destroyed.
2 is kind
Yeah.
of dark in that small amount of the cutscene implying that Sonic might be dead at the very end.
That's true, yeah.
Before
And they go
Tails
up to save him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought Tails outside of his voice, and that's more of a dubbing thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
We watched the American one, not the Japanese one, but like Tails was a very entertaining character. I think.
Yeah, they
He had the most,
they
like,
even kept him
stuff
as an
going on.
inventor too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I like that.
That was a really cool. Yeah, that was a really cool like nod forward because before that, Tails sort of invented stuff. I guess Tails Adventure is the
No,
first
I
time
think
he
they
really
definitely clarified that he made the airplane.
Yeah.
Or he at least modified it with the rocket engine.
That's true. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
Knuckles
yeah.
was cool. I don't know why he had a hat, but whatever. It was not totally dissimilar from Knack's hat, but it was different.
It was a little.
it's
This
similar
is just
style.
sort of this is kind of a
This
trilby
actually, this
fedora
is
looking
not
thing.
even what Knack's hat normally looks like. It's meant to be like curled up. The
Yeah, it's
shit
like a
on the
cowboy
side.
hat.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
cowboy hat.
It's like angled. It's a digger hat. It's like
Oh, yeah,
it's like
okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he
Well,
looks like usually.
Yeah. maybe
So
I just have
so
to
Knuckles was
physically-
cool. Like at one point, he just completely saved Sonic and Tails out of fucking nowhere. He's a total Deus Ex Machina, but it's kind of okay. I realize because that's the fan service that the kids want.
Yeah.
You know, like at this point, I would have been like, "What's gonna happen?" And if I didn't know Knuckles was there, and they're like, "Whoa, Knuckles saved him. He's my favorite."
I would have preferred if they
Yeah.
didn't tease Knuckles right before that, though. If just Knuckles
Yeah, you
showed
just
up and
showed up. I
Right.
think that would have been a little.
Yeah,
better.
that would have been better. Yeah, but kids.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was
And
cool.
Amy
It was-
Rose should have been in the movie.
It was cute.
Amy Rose should have been in the movie.
She should have
Especially
played
in
the part of
time
Cat
they
Lady.
Yeah,
came
if
out
they-
with that movie, she was the only character that had been established in the games that was missing.
They
from it.
really, really, really wanted to put human girls in Sonic games.
Yeah,
badly.
since like the beginning.
The
This
very
is-
beginning,
this
they
is
wanted
the
to have a woman
second-
named Madonna in there.
Yep.
There was going to be another human woman, I think, in one of the canceled games that was
Yep.
going to come
And then
out.
Station Square is
with
all
this.
tons of
Finally got
humans,
Maria.
but
Yeah.
not
Maria
romantic.
Robotnik.
And then Maria Robotnik and eventually Princess fucking whoever from Sonic 06.
Princess 06.
I
Yeah.
still don't know what you're talking about.
You will.
You will.
I won't. I'm not going to be here for that.
Sucker.
I think so. The most important
Oh.
thing that I think they pulled off with this is, aside from the fact that the characters all look pretty good for
Yeah, they're
like,
mostly on model,
accuracy,
I'd say. Yeah.
I think the bigger thing, and I mentioned this in the actual while we were watching, is like it actually felt like Sonic. Like Sonic
Yeah.
and Tails, even when things were bad, we're still kind of having fun with it
Yep.
and cracking jokes and kind of helping each other out. And even Knuckles, they're doing all this tag teaming stuff,
Sonic
and like
flipped off Robotnik.
he does.
He doesn't. I
Allegedly,
think it's just an animation thing.
It's an
like-
animation thing.
I
You
mean,
gotta
I
go
was the
like
one-
this. But really, what is this supposed to mean?
No, I think it's this finger. I mean, I argued it.
He did have.
He only has
he had
four
5
fingers.
fingers.
Yeah,
in
so
it.
it's either this or he's doing like an up your ass kind of thing. But
right.
either
Oh, he
way.
does. No, wait. He has 5 fingers.
He has
I
5
thought
fingers.
he had 5 fingers in the anime.
That's not Sonic.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Sonic has
Who
4
is
fingers.
that?
Dun,
Robotnik
dun,
has 4
dun.
fingers. Humans have 5 fingers. That's why Robotnik is an overlander, not a human. We'll get to that during Sonic
We'll
Adventure,
get there.
though.
We'll
Don't
get
you
there.
worry.
Is that a
Um,
real thing?
yes.
Okay, that's cool. Overlander's my new band name. Oh
my God.
Yeah, I
I
think
be
we
in
should
your new
wrap this
band?
up. Any closing comments?
Can I be in your new band?
So,
yeah, always.
if you had to give this, one, would you recommend this to fans of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say
It's
yeah.
an
also.
hour of your time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 1 hour. It's not like a
neat.
full movie.
If you've
It's,
ever had any nostalgia for Sonic, you should watch this.
compare it to other video game movies.
Let's compare it to the other 2 Sonic animations that we're
Okay.
familiar
Well, those
with.
aren't movies. But
Well, no, I know, but
compared
I'm
to
saying-
Adventures
also,
of
there's
Sonic the
also there's
Hedgehog,
5 other Sonic. Wait, 4, 5.
by now there's
4.
3.
Yeah,
Sonic,
the 2
Sonic,
that I know, yeah.
Sonic Saturday, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic
Underground. Oh, we're not counting
Sonic X and
X
Sonic
or
Boom haven't been out yet.
Right, but I mean,
They are the thing.
Well, yeah, they are a
they
thing.
exist.
I don't know
I've
much about
only
Sonic
seen
X or Sonic Boom.
Sonic
to be
Saturday
honest.
Morning and the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Up
You've seen us
until-
watch Adventures of Sonic.
I've
the
seen a fair
until-
amount of Sonic X actually.
Up until 1999, I guess this
And
is
Sonic
probably the
Underground.
best Sonic animated
Animation,
Sonic.
yeah.
as
Sonic
far as I'm
Underground was
concerned.
It's a
on-
lot more like Saturday Sonic, but
Sonic Underground was on Netflix for a little while. I don't think it
Yeah.
still is, but Sonic Underground was actually kind of cool because like it also had this similar like very like post-apocalyptic, but different
yep.
than Saturday Morning Sonic thing.
Yeah.
Like because there were like still like a lot of underground cultures rather than just the one like not whole
Yeah.
kingdom.
Yeah.
And so Sonic, of course, decided to revolt
Start a
against the
band,
government
right?
by starting a fucking punk band with his brother and sister, Manic and Sonia.
I bet it's good. But we're gonna get to that. That's,
We're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this
That's
up.
Called
another day.
Hedgehog Riot?
That would have been cool.
Is that what they were called?
No,
I think
probably
they were
not.
probably called Sonic.
They're probably
Youth.
just called
Sonic Youth.
Oh, there
Youth
it
Sonic.
is.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, on that note, we're
compared to-
Overlander. We'll
Compared
see
to,
it-
compared to other video game movies,
Oh, I mean, they all suck, dude.
Well,
We
what
know
are
they
which
all
other
suck.
video game movies? Some of them
Any
are
of 'em.
good.
All
Some
of
of them
them.
are not good.
It's better
I
than
mean,
Mario.
I'm not going to argue that this is better than the better Resident Evil movies.
It's
'Cause I
better
think that
than the
better,
Mario movie.
I think the best Resident Evil movies are probably the best video game movies that have been made. But honestly, this
Yes.
beats outside of Resident Evil. This might be the best video game movie I've ever watched.
And it's fun and it's lighthearted, like, you know, but it's
No.
fine. It's good.
I'm gonna make the divisive comment that I don't mind the Mario movie. I think it's hilarious.
You
I
just
love
need
Dennis
to, yeah,
Hopper.
you just need to look at it
Dennis
from
Hopper is
the right
fun.
point of view.
I mean, does
As
anyone
is
want to
Bob
see
Hoskins.
a true to the games Mario movie? Like,
Bob
that would be
Hoskins
dumb.
and John Leguizamo are pretty fucking fun too. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure we'll talk about that another time, though.
Dead or Alive, DOA Dead or Alive features Kevin Nash as
Okay,
the
that's pretty
wrestling
awesome.
dad of Christine.
Oh, but Knuckles is voiced by Kevin Nash, so he's not.
I wish he was.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things in that movie. Is like he basically plays
No,
himself.
we're over. The best video game movie
Yeah,
is Mortal Kombat.
but that
Yes.
but then that gave us Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Don't worry
Which is
about
like
it.
the worst.
Don't worry about it.
That's
Don't
how
watch
that didn't
it.
happen.
way down
Doesn't
bottom.
exist. Doesn't exist.
I'm sure when we get to the Mortal Let's Play,
you
we'll
can't
have to go
say
through
that
those
Mortal
two.
Kombat 2 makes Mortal Kombat 1 worse.
That's fair. You
Yeah,
can't. That's not
yeah.
fair to Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
1. That's true.
Like
I
the
won't-
fact
I
that my
won't talk
mom
about
had
Street
Ian
Fighter.
doesn't make me worse.
Your soul is mine.
No, it actually makes you better if anything.
better,
yeah. It's like, oh, she does. She's not a total fuck up.
But I think what we should really do is compare this to the live-action Sonic movie that's coming out.
Oh, we will when we
We
get there.
will.
Oh boy.
On that note, so yeah, we're the new band Overlander. Check us out on MySpace. I don't know. I thought it sounded cool. We can pump out the Sonic jams. You guys know?
On Live Nation.
Live Nation. Yeah.
Think fast, Sonic.
Next time.
Says that on the thing there.
But yeah, so we're the Pad. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us about your thoughts on this or other Sonic stuff or anything. And I'm John.
I'm Rick.
And I'm just too sweet.
That's CJ. Bye.